Welcome everyone, we are back for another card discussion type video, this time on Premium Pack 16 and the effect monsters that came out in it.
We're going to be splitting up Premium Pack 16 into 5 videos. This will be the first of them, and we're going to talk about the 5 effect monsters that came up in there. Chronomaly Gordia's Unite being the first one.
So a very good versatile card that can be used to special summon any Chronomaly monster when this card is normal summoned and copy its level.
So essentially it's a great way to summon out 4 out of 5 of the Chronomaly Xyz, because it's an instant depending on whatever monster you special summon with its effect.
So you can summon like Chronomaly Soul Monolith, you can go into a number 6 Chronomaly Atlantis, or one of the 5s like Moe Carrier or Tula Guardian, go into a rank 5.
Makumek or Golden Jet for number 36, and then you could also do it with one of the level 3s for Chrononaut. And it is not at all restricted to summoning Chronomaly Xyz monsters either. So it'll essentially give it, with the right Chronomaly, it'll give you access to any rank 3, 4, 5, or 6 monster.
Yep, and then of course, if you happen to have a rank up magic card, you could go for your Chaos number 6.
So basically, it's just a very good augmentation of Chronomaly Xyz summoning. Especially because it isn't restricted to Chronomalies, like a lot of the really good Xyz Chronomalies were before, like Soul Monolith required only Chronomaly effect monsters would be able to be, or Chronomaly effects could only be used for the rest of the turn. Same sort of thing goes for Nebradisk. So it's a very good Xyz summoning card that's not restrictive whatsoever.
So I guess next we have our gimmick puppet Humpty Dumpty,
which is I guess a very similar card, but for gimmick puppets. It's when it's normal or special summoned, you can special summon a gimmick puppet monster from your hand. You can only use it once per turn, so that means it can't be chained to itself. But, I mean, you could use it to special summon itself, you just wouldn't get another summon. The main thing that's really nice is you can use it with Junk Puppet. So you could revive it from the graveyard and get a special summon.
Another good play might be to bring out a level 8, and then you could use a Dreary Doll in your graveyard to overlay for a rank 8 Xyz monster as well.
Yeah, it's also really nice to get those Dreary Dolls, or the next card we're going to talk about, Gimmick Puppet Shadow Feeler, out of your hand when you don't have another way, like you don't get an Egghead to be able to discard them, or you don't have trade-ins. It's a great way to get them into play.
Yeah, and then of course you can use this card with Egghead to go for a Geargon X to search out other gimmick puppets from your deck.
Or feasibly you could use it with Destroy to just get even more swarming, because you could summon Humpty Dumpty, special out Destroy, and use Destroy's effect to destroy itself and special summon 2 more gimmick puppets out of your hand. So
on to Shadow Feeler, I suppose?
Yep, and Shadow Feeler's more along the lines of what we're used to with Gimmick Puppet effect monsters. It's a level 8, pretty low stats with 1,000 each, but it does have a really nice effect in that, first of all, it can't be destroyed by battle, so that's really nice. And when you take battle damage from a direct attack while it's in the graveyard, you can special summon it back in attack mode, and you take 1,000 damage. You can only use it once per turn. So it's very nice. It's able to be reused as long as you don't trigger its second effect, where if it's used as an Xyz material and it would be sent to the graveyard, it's banished.
So this, if your opponent declares 1 direct attack, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. That will prevent your opponent from dealing further direct attacks, since this card cannot be destroyed by battle.
Though it is summoned attack, so you're going to be taking some damage regardless.
Taking a little bit of damage. Well, I guess it only has, what, 1,000 attack?
Yeah.
So, also you could special summon this, or when you special summon this card from the grade, you could summon a Guard Penguin to prevent the damage to you.
This is true.
And then if on the next turn you use the Humpty Dumpty play I mentioned earlier, you can bring out Humpty Dumpty and a level 8, and then go for a rank 4 and rank 8 Xyz summon.
The one thing to watch out for, though, there is that even if you haven't used Shadow Feeler's effect, if it's used as an Xyz material for any card, it does get banished as soon as it's detached, or if the Xyz monster is destroyed. So as soon as you use it for an Xyz summon, it's gone.
Yeah, that is the unfortunate side effect.
But prior to using it as an Xyz material, it's very reusable and very useful.
Yeah, very very useful card to prevent battle or prevent your opponent from going out on an all-out attacking spree, especially if you can special summon in defense mode through the effects of other gimmick puppets.
Next, we have Silent Web Agong, which is a shark-esque monster. It's a water fish, level 4, with 1,000 attack and 2,000 defense.
It's very good to help you gain 2,000 life points, although your opponent is going to get to draw a card. Good in stun decks. Good in combination with like Dustins or Geometrio or Ground Collapse to help clog up your opponent's field, while also using this card's additional effect of preventing your opponent from having more than 3 cards in their hand at the end of the turn.
Essentially how it works is when you have it in your hand, during your main phase you can special summon it to your opponent's side of the field. And then the wording is very specific on this card, so you gotta pay attention to it. When it's special summoned that way, the controller of the card draws a card, so your opponent's gonna get to draw a card, and the controller's opponent gains 2,000 life points. So you get 2,000 life points.
Yeah, definitely something to look out for when choosing to use this card in your deck.
So it's a give and take. It is really nice, say if you have a C101 out, or a Silent One or Dark, and you need a material, it's a card you can special summon to your opponent's side of the field in attack mode and create a valid target. Or feasibly, you could also just special summon it to your opponent's side of the field in attack mode to have a target where you can deal damage off.
Very true, very true.
And I guess finally we have Swift Hippo, Dinah Theorem. It's a wind beast, level 4, with pretty good stats, 1,600 attack, 600 defense, not so good. Essentially, it's very similar to Gilosaurus. It has almost the exact same effect, except it does require your opponent to only be able to select level 4 monsters in either player's graveyard. So it gives them access to your graveyard as well.
Yeah, so I guess it would be best to use this on your first turn. Or
very similar.
The first turn of the duel.
Yeah.
Because if your opponent goes first, they could very likely have a level 4 monster in their graveyard.
But another nice thing is, say if you have another level 4, or a level 4 tuner, I should say, in your hand, it's a very easy level 8 synchro summon, which you could easily summon Crimson Blader, and since you've given them a monster, you automatically have a target to kill with Crimson Blader.
Of course, this could be used very, very well with rank 4 Exceeds decks. Using well with like Goblinberg or
using in common with Goblinberg or Kage to easily get 3 level 4s onto the field in one turn, since it doesn't require anything else to be able to special summon it.
And of course, other synchro plays can be made, like normal summoning Junk Synchron, special summoning maybe like a Quillbolt from your grave, and then you can go into a Mistworm with this card.
Or a Gigantic Castle with 3,300 attack.
Okay.
Various
things. A lot of various plays that can be made with this, whether you want to put it in a more Xyz or synchro-based deck.
Just a very nice card, very easy to special summon, works almost exactly like Gilosaurus, so...
Just more options for everybody.
More options. It's a little more restrictive than Gilosaurus, but it does give them access to your graveyard. So do be careful. If you have level 4s and they don't, they still have targets. So that's one thing to watch for when you're using this card.
Yeah. So I guess that is it for the effect monsters that came out in Premium Pack 16. Next we will be going over the Chaos Xyz monsters that came out in this set.
See you guys later.